Alright, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to install a blow-off valve on my supercharged M3. Go through the parts list real quick. This is a Greddy. This doesn't come with the supercharger or the blow-off valve, so you need to buy this extra. It's a Greddy to TIAL sport mount, or TIAL mount, I think they're all the same. This is the TIAL 50. It has the supercharger spring, so it's rated for that lower PSI. We're only running about 6 PSI on here. This is included. It's your O-ring, and also this is just your mount to hook the blow-off valve straight to the Greddy mount. That's what comes on the supercharger. So let's go ahead and reposition the camera over here. Now, this mod, honestly, it's purely for either cosmetic or, you know, the blow-off sound on a supercharger. It's really annoying. I usually take it off. I don't run it 24/7. It's just annoying when you're at idle or when you're cruising and you're not on throttle and there's no vacuum. It's a loud, just the pressure, it's venting to atmosphere. This is a recirculating valve, so when the pressure gets released, it gets recirculated back into the system and put back into the intake, versus when you just have the vent to atmosphere. Instead of this pipe being here, the air is just going straight into the atmosphere, so you're not getting that sound. So what we're going to do is remove this first. We're going to take off the recirculating pipe, hose, whatever you want to call it. Just 2 little hose clamps. Also pull the vacuum line off. Just leave that to the side for now. Best way to do this is pull down. Engine's a little hot right now. And we're gonna pull up. So that's off. Now keep this, don't throw any of this stuff away, because if you want to switch back, just hold it aside. So you can do that. Next thing we're gonna do is get a rag to put right here, because this is hot. And we're just gonna take your Allen key, and we're gonna take off and remove. There's two Allen keys on here, and then there's one back here, which is a pain in the ass. Get a long Allen key to take it out. It sucks because this is so hot. It's almost a pain in the ass. Do the one on the bottom first, because the one on the bottom is. And you're going to reuse these screws. Okay, the bottom one's out. Grab it so you don't drop into the engine. Okay, got that. And then we remove the top, and we're going to hold this so it doesn't fall. And the shit is hot. And there's also a gasket, which you're going to reuse. Alright, so we're already removed. As you see, it takes like 2 seconds to literally take it off. 2 minutes, whatever. So there's also a metal piece that's inside that you have to watch out for when you remove. Let me show you. So this is the recirculating valve. It's a race valve by Vortec. Keep that in there. That belongs with that. So now that we got that done, the biggest pain in the ass of this whole install is when the air is coming down, it's going back into there. This has to be plugged, so you have to find a way to plug it. And I found some gasket 1 1/4 plugs. I'm gonna see if these work. That's just like a simple plug. I don't think it will. Actually, it fits. Okay, that works, and it plugged it really good actually. The only issue I'm gonna have with these is they're made of rubber, and when this heats up, I'm wondering if it's gonna shoot out when this hits 6 psi. I have no idea. You could try to cap it with something, put like a rubber around it with a hose clamp, but that's what I'm gonna use right now. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our Greddy mount, and as you see, it bolts directly up, and go ahead and put the gasket on. So we have our gasket, our Greddy mount, and our 2 screws that we just removed. Use the same screws. You don't need to put like Loctite or anything on these. You don't want to torque them down or anything hard. Boom. This one's in. Need an Allen key to get the back one. Because I'm in an awkward position with the camera filming. Grab it. Well, that's done. Like I said, I want to do it that tight. Okay, that's done. Now this is the hardest part. Looks like the easiest, but it's really not, because the way this O-ring is, it likes to slip out last minute while you're putting it on. The O-ring is going to sit directly in. This is the issue with this. It doesn't want to stay in. This is basically how it goes. So it's... See, we already slipped just because it wants to fall down. Let's try to put it just so you can see. It's like roll off. It's not. It's a little. I mean, it's the size, but it's just a pain in the ass. Yeah, pain in the ass. This is what takes me the longest on this whole install. Is just getting this on and clamping it at the same time. I'm gonna grab my bolts for the clamp. And when we're installing, we want the vacuum hose down and you want the logo up. That's how you're going to position it. I guess you can position it however you want, but that's just how I do it. So I'm going to do a test fit right here. And that thing is such a pain in the ass. Alright, looks like it's on. Okay, so this doesn't have the clamp on it right now, but get the idea. Next thing we're going to do, there goes the ring, is we're going to put the clamp on. Now be careful because this shit is very sharp. CNC'd, whatever it is, aluminum. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to put on. You gotta kind of bend it out. Okay, there, it's on now. Your ring goes in there, and now we gotta fit it onto that with the O-ring in. The O-ring has to go in. If you don't do it, you're gonna be leaking pressure while you're in boost, which we don't want that. The way I do it, I'm gonna do this right now, to keep the O-ring in, is I just get some grease, very small amount, put it on there so it sticks, so it's not gonna fall out from gravity, pulling it down. Now there is another blow-off valve you can get from Vortec directly. It's the same literally the same exact one that ESS supplies, but it's a vent to atmosphere. Same exact profile and everything, it just doesn't have the recirculation hose or anything. So just apply like that. Rub the extra off. And now that this is sticky, we just put it in here. And now it's not moving at all. Okay, so now our goal is we're gonna open this up and hope everything goes on without the. This is the hard part because now the ring is popping off. Can't really tell if it's on or not. Kind of feels loose. You'll know when it's applied correctly because when you twist the blow-off valve when it's on, you hear like a clean sound. See, there's all messed up. You won't hear. I mean, you won't hear any sound. It'll just feel like a smooth turn. What might be easier is to just bend this little mount. Whatever. Actually, that's the best way to do it, honestly. Put this on. Boom. And clamp. Now I don't have my bolts for the thing in my hand, so okay, cool. Now we're gonna put the mounting bracket, the bolts, whatever you want to call it. And it's the simplest way to go through. And we need to get an Allen key for that. Hopefully this is right the first time. It's probably not, as usual. I didn't set this up, totally forgot. There we go, second time. I'll take it. Okay. Alright, we're threaded in. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and align it, tile up front. The mount, you want it out of view. You want a clean, you want a clean look. So I kind of put it angled like that. No one's looking back there anyway. Boom. So we have this. Vacuum hose is going to go right there, and tie down that back. As I said, it's hot. Super easy installation besides the mount on here. It's the pain in the ass just because the O-ring wants to fall out. But the method I showed you, just open up this aluminum coupler and just bend it open so it clears. And use grease with it. And that's super easy. Okay, so that's done. Last part is the vacuum line. If you're gonna be taking this off, like I am, I learned the hard way on this one. This nozzle on here will not let hoses go, especially this one. So when you put it on there, it's almost like permanent. When you try to pull off, it's like a Chinese finger trap. It doesn't want to come off. You'll actually start, you'll start stretching the hose. So what I'm gonna do, put a little grease on the end of the nipple, and I'm not gonna push it all the way up. And I've never had an issue with the hose coming off by just pushing it up 2 or 3 of the inch right here. Boom. That's not going anywhere. If you want to push it all the way up, push it all the way up. Just know that if you want to go back and remove it, 100% you're going to have you're gonna have to cut the hose and then peel it off of the nozzle there. But this installation's done. We're capped, vacuum line, and blow off valve. And we're a little crooked, but whatever. Fix that in a second. Let's go ahead and start it up and see how it sounds.
The old one, it would be pushing it right back in here. So that's the difference. So let's go ahead and see the reason why we installed this in the first place. Get that.
Sounds so good with the hood up. It sounds 10 times better. And that's it right there. There's really nothing else to do. Check out the final product here. So we got our recirculation cut off right there. Blow off valves installed. We didn't have any boost leaks or anything. I checked my gauge inside. We were holding boost. Vacuum line's good. And that's it. Pretty much done. If you want to know the part number of these, I just got on eBay. It was like 10 bucks. That's what it is. It's made by Mr. Gas